The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom, there lived a kind and graceful princess. She had everything she could ever want, a grand castle, servants who catered to her every need, and fine clothes that sparkled like the stars. But despite all the luxury and comfort, she felt something was missing. She longed to find true love. One stormy night, as the wind howled and the rain poured, there came a knock on the castle gate. The old king and queen, who were the princess's parents, were seated in the grand dining hall when they heard the sound. They hurried to the door and found a young woman standing there, drenched from head to toe. "I am a princess, traveling from a distant land," the young woman said. "May I please stay the night? The storm is too fierce to travel in." The queen looked at her closely. The girl was dripping wet, her clothes torn and her hair in disarray. But there was something about her, something regal in the way she carried herself. The queen agreed, but with one condition. "We shall give you a bed, but we will test you to see if you are truly a princess." The young woman agreed, and so she was led to a room in the castle. There, the queen placed a small, round pea under 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds, and then tucked her in for the night. Chapter 2, The Test. As the night passed, the young woman tossed and turned. No matter how she adjusted herself, she couldn't get comfortable. The mattress seemed hard, and something was poking her back. She sighed and tried to sleep, but it was impossible. The next morning, she came downstairs, looking pale and tired, but determined. The queen asked, "How did you sleep, my dear?" The young woman answered, "I could not sleep at all. There was something hard under the mattresses. It made me restless all night." The queen smiled, a knowing look in her eyes. Only a true princess would be sensitive enough to feel such a small pea under so many layers of bedding. "You have passed the test." The young woman's eyes widened. "A test? I didn't know I was being tested." The queen nodded, and the king smiled warmly. "We have been waiting for a true princess to come into our lives, someone who is kind, gentle, and with a heart as pure as yours." Chapter 3, The Love of the Princess and the Prince. As the days passed, the young woman, who had been given the name Princess Marilla, grew close to the royal family. She and the prince spent time together, walking through the castle gardens and talking for hours. They discovered they had much in common, and they quickly became the best of friends. The prince admired her for her kindness, her gentle spirit, and her ability to find joy in the smallest things. He knew, deep down, that she was the one he had been searching for all along. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned golden, the prince looked into Princess Marilla's eyes and said, "I've known you for only a short time, but I feel as though I've known you forever. You are everything I've ever dreamed of in a true princess." Tears filled Marilla's eyes. "And you, my prince, are everything I've been longing for." Chapter 4, The Royal Wedding. Soon, the news of the princess and the prince's growing love spread throughout the kingdom. The royal court began to prepare for a grand celebration, the wedding of the century. The castle was decorated with flowers, ribbons, and banners, and the people of the kingdom filled the streets, eager to celebrate the union of their beloved prince and princess. On the day of the wedding, Princess Marilla wore the most beautiful gown, adorned with sparkling jewels. The prince looked handsome in his royal attire, and as they stood together at the altar, everyone could see the deep love and affection they shared. As they exchanged vows, the prince took Marilla's hand and promised, "I will always love you, no matter the challenges we face, no matter what life brings us. Together, we will overcome everything, and our love will shine forever." The princess, her eyes shining with joy, replied, "And I promise to stand by your side, to love you with all my heart, for as long as we live." The moment they were pronounced husband and wife, the kingdom erupted in cheers, and the celebration lasted well into the night. The people danced in the streets, singing songs of love and happiness. Chapter 5, The True Meaning of the Test. Years passed, and the love between the prince and Princess Marilla grew stronger with each passing day. They ruled the kingdom with wisdom, kindness, and love, always caring for the people and ensuring their happiness. One day, as the couple sat together in the royal garden, the queen and king came to visit. The queen smiled and said, "My dear, now that you are married and ruling the kingdom together, do you understand the true meaning of the test with the P?" Princess Marilla thought for a moment and nodded. It wasn't about being a princess in the way most people think, about wealth, beauty, or status. The true test was about sensitivity, kindness, and the ability to endure discomfort without complaining. It was about being real, being true to oneself, and finding love not in outward appearances, but in the heart. The king smiled. "You have learned the greatest lesson of all, my dear. You are truly a princess, not because of your title, but because of the goodness and grace in your heart." Princess Marilla smiled and looked at the prince, her heart filled with love. "And that, my love, is what truly makes us royalty." Together, they continued to rule the kingdom, their love ever strong, and their hearts ever kind. The end.